This video is for basic facial, and we are starting as if we have just arrived to work. So the first thing that we're going to do is wash our hands. We're going to go to the sink, we're going to wet our hands, we're going to find a coin-size amount of liquid hand soap. We're going to wash our hands together down to the wrist. We're going to wash the back of our hands down to our wrist. We're going to wash our fingers, and we're going to wash the backs of our fingers. We're going to wash our fingertips and nails. We're going to wash our thumbs. We are going to wash our wrists. All of that interlocking wash for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. And when we feel like we've gotten a really good clean, we're going to give it a thorough proper rinse underneath the sink. We're going to grab paper towels or a towel, turn the faucet off with the towels, dry our hands off completely, toss the paper towels if that's what you're using in the trash. If it's the towel, it's now dirty and it needs to go in a closed container until time for laundry. Then we're going to grab our hand sanitizer, 70% ethyl alcohol, and we're going to sanitize our hands. After our hands have been thoroughly sanitized, we are going to get ready for our client that is coming in for her basic facial. So let's review how we set up and prepare our room for a facial. And we do all of this prior to the client's arrival because we want to be very mindful of time, our schedule for the day, the next clients we have coming, their time, that we want to be prompt for our appointments, we want to be professional. We want to do the proper amount of time for each service. We don't want anybody shortchanging. We don't want to go over. We want everyone to be given the same wonderful, consistent treatment. So before their appointment time, we're going to disinfect the workstation, bed, and equipment using a disinfectant wipe following manufacturer's instructions. We are going to check equipment to ensure that all devices are in safe working order and plugged into a working receptacle. We're going to gather clean supplies needed for the facial service, storing in a clean, closed container. We're going to turn on the hot cabbie and stock with at least 3 clean, wet towels. More may be needed depending on the service and the client's needs. We are going to fill a clean steamer glass with distilled water, and we're going to preheat the steamer. We will dispense products needed for the service according to skin type and client's needs as follows. We're going to prepare a disposable portion cup tray for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup tray, or remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula. We will close the lid to the product and set the portion cup tray on the tray. We're going to drape the facial bed using 1 fitted sheet, 1 flat sheet, and 3 towels. We'll place clean laundered sheets down on the disinfected facial bed, placing a towel horizontally at the head of the bed. Lay a hairnet and headband on top of the first towel, along with a rolled towel to support the head and neck of the client. We'll save the third towel to lay across the client's décolleté. So we've done all that. Let's review what we've done on our tray, and then we will move forward into the client consultation section. So on our tray, we have prepared what we could for the client. So because we're doing a video, we can dispense the skincare already, but potentially that may be something you have to wait to do, but you can have everything you need, your bowls, your products, all of those things. So we have water, we have 4x4s, 2x2s, we have makeup remover, cleanser, exfoliant, massage product, we have a mask, we have eye cream and moisturizer, we have astringent with disposable gloves, wooden stick Q-tips, cotton rounds, disposable gloves, of course, because of we're going to do some extractions potentially, and we have a brush for the facial mask. So, and we also have toner. So we have everything that we need for our basic facial. Now we just have to have our client arrive to make sure that they're able to receive the service, and we figure out all of that, plus specifications about maybe products that we need to be using once we do our client consultation. So we're going to do that now. We're going to review that part of the basic facial, and we are going to discuss in detail some contraindications, as well as note that when we meet with a client, we are going to meet our client with clean hands. So my hands are clean, thoroughly cleaned at this point. I am just not going to wash them on the video. Again, I'm going to wash them before service, but just so you know, I always approach a client with clean hands. And so our client has arrived promptly also, which is quite nice for our schedule. So we go and greet our client and escort them to the work area and the area where we can talk and do the client consultation. We will determine the client's preferences. We'll assess the client's needs. We're going to assess the client's skin by performing a skin analysis with our eyes at this point to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, infection or infestation, for example, lice, to prevent from safely performing the service. We will assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours, and we're going to consult on any known allergies. We could deep dive into every single one of these and why they're so important, but basically at this point, you're taking the time to make sure that the client has not used any taken any medication or used any products within the last 72 hours that could affect or harm her during the basic facial. So if there's a medication that she's taken and you don't know, you research it before you do the basic facial. Making sure if she's allergic to any ingredients that's not in your products, etc., etc. We can talk about all of that. We'll consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months and if the client's under a physician's care. We'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. If they have any at all, you will not be performing the service. They have to be gone 100%. You'll assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. Once again, these particular products or ingredients take off layers of the skin. Then the skin, you will not be performing the service if they've used any of those. You will assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If they've had that, you will not be performing the service. Thankfully, our client is free from any of those contraindications. Our clients don't have any of those contraindications, so we will be moving forward with the service. So what we're going to do now is get our client comfortable. So our client is ready for the facials. She is going to have some privacy now to change, and we will be just triple reviewing everything on the form that we need to. Maybe any concerns, things that she really wants us, we've discussed, to be target specific. Maybe you make a couple notes right now while she's changing and getting comfortable. So she's going to get into the bedding. She's going to change into the drape. She is going to let you know, because you're going to come and knock on the door, that it's time for you to come in. So she's comfortable, and what we're going to do is make her even more comfortable. So we're going to take a rolled towel and place it under the head and neck. We're going to take another towel and place it across the décolleté, maybe giving her a little bit more coverage there. We're going to take a hairnet to keep the hair out of the face. You can use a hairnet, a headband. This just works better because my mannequin doesn't have any hair, so I'm going to use a hairnet just to keep that, keep everything away from the eyes and face. And then it's time for you to wash your hands before you begin the service. So you are going to go to the sink and you are going to wet your hands again, and you're going to find that coin-sized amount of liquid hand soap, and you're going to wash your hands together down to the wrist, and you're going to wash the back of the hands down to the wrist. You're going to wash the fingers, and you certainly are going to wash the backs of the fingers, fingertips and nails. You're going to wash between the fingers and the thumbs. You're going to wash the thumbs. You're going to wash the wrist. You're going to do all of that interlocking wash for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. When you feel like you're properly washed, you're going to give it a really good rinse, and then you're going to identify and grab either disposable paper towels or a towel. So you turn the faucet off with the towels. If it's paper towels, dry your hands thoroughly and throw them away. If it's a towel, you've dried your hands thoroughly and put it in a laundry with a closed lid. Then you're going to get your 70% ethyl alcohol hand sanitizer, and you're going to sanitize those hands. Once your hands are sanitized, you can then begin the service. And the first thing that you have to do in a basic facial is remove the client's makeup. So we're going to take off the makeup. Some people wear more, some people wear less. So you just do what you need to do to remove makeup. So some, like I said, some people will have on more, some people will have on less. Do what you need to do. This is end of day for our client, so they've worked all day, so of course they have makeup on, so it might take a minute for you to get that off. And then you're just going to perform your first cleanse. We need to kind of remove the initial bit of makeup just so we can get a good skin analysis. So we're going to start our first cleanse. And after that first cleanse, we're going to remove it. And after that cleanse, you're going to be doing a skin analysis with either a magnifying lamp or a woods lamp. So you're going to tell your client you're going to cover their eyes because you're going to turn on a bright light and you want to protect their eyes. So I don't have a magnifying lamp, so I'm just going to show you what I would do. And then I would be bringing the light or lamp over and turning it on. And this is where I would take a good bit of time because I'm doing a full skin analysis on the face, chin, neck, etc. I'm looking for different things in different areas, but I'm also going to be, obviously respectful of her goals, skincare goals, and specifically looking for things that she's concerned with. And then we can kind of talk about the wins and then the areas of opportunity. So as I look through and feel her skin, I obviously want to be moving it around while I'm looking at it. What I'm looking for, sorry, there's a gnat flying around. I wouldn't be doing that in service, clearly. I might have to get it though at some point. Maybe I'm looking for dehydration or larger pores, excess sebum, breakout, dehydration, capillary issues, hyperpigmentation, redness. There's a broad, huge scope of things that we may discuss or that we may be looking for as we look at different areas. She might be concerned about like aging around the eye area. She might be worried about breaking out on the chin. Like there's specific things you're going to look at in different areas. She may not be concerned, but you're going to be able to look really detailed and see. And then you can also see what's great about her skin that you can communicate with her about as well. So the good news about this client is she's a regular client, so this is part of the process, and you're going to look and check every single time that she comes in. And then you note in either your software system or if you do like client cards after each service, what the service was, and then also the skin analysis and details, because you're also her skin expert, her skin professional. And if there's something that changes within her skin, whether it's a freckle, a mole, the fact that she's not dehydrated anymore, whatever it is, you're going to want to notate that. And then if there's something or condition that presents itself or change that presents itself that's out of your scope of practice, that would warrant your referral to a physician, you're going to note that and know that and maybe even see and recognize it before your client does. The other thing is there's this particular client's just worried about a lot of dehydration because of change of season. We're moving into winter, fall. We're in fall right now, getting ready to head into winter. And we're also all wearing masks, so she's worried about congestion in the chin. So she's in a mask all day and long hours, and she just gets super dry and a little breaky-outy. So we're looking at that. Then you would take the magnifying lamp out of the way, turn the light off, and then you can remove the coverage on your client's eyes and go ahead and move forward with the service. So we're going to go ahead now and do that second cleanse. We've got to remove the rest of the makeup and anything else that we think we can still see or we could see in more detail under the magnifying lamp or Woods lamp. And now we're removing that cleanse number 2, of course. And then we're going to do a third and final cleanse just because it's the end of day and we want to make sure that when she gets home she won't have to cleanse again. We want it all done right now. So you may not need to do that, but we're going to do it today here. And you can remove your third and final cleanse. And then once you're done with removing your cleanser, you will tone. And I'm just going to be very cautious and careful to make sure that my nozzle of my sprayer does not come into contact with my 2x2s. Once you've toned, you will be applying exfoliant. So of course we're going to follow manufacturer's instructions on all of the products we're using. I'm going to use a little pea-size amount and I'm going to spread it out across the face and neck, avoiding the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and I'm going to then massage it in. So there'll be physical exfoliants, there'll be chemical exfoliants. You're going to follow the manufacturer's directions. So we're going to be massaging this one in for 1 to 2 minutes. once you've got this massaged in, we are going to review what you are going to do with the exfoliant, which I don't have the machine that we're going to talk about, so I'm going to just read you through what happens next. So basically what you're going to do is you've preheated a facial steamer, you're going to go get it. So you will retrieve the steamer and turn it on. You'll position the steamer next to the facial bed and make sure that it's facing away from the client as the water heats up and emits an even outflow of a mist. Once the steamer is emitting a mist, you're going to position the steamer 16 inches over the client's face and aimed at the client's chin for even distribution on the face, allowing the unit to function for 3 to 5 minutes. Then you're going to remove the steamer from the client's face, return the steamer to its previous location for disinfection. So walking through that, you'll go find the steamer and you'll bring it over to the facial bed, making sure that the steam part is facing away from your client, turn it on. And then it will get to the point where it's doing that even outflow, and you're going to turn that towards the client's face, position it towards the chin, and you're going to let it 16 inches away. You're going to let it for 3 to 5 minutes mist over the face evenly. And when that's done, we're going to pretend like that time has elapsed now. You're turning it away from the client, turn it off, take it back to the place you originally found it, and you're going to disinfect later. So all of that has been done, and all of that time has elapsed for the sake of the video, and now we're going to get our hot towel out of our cabbie, which we also don't have. So we're going to pretend like this is our hot towel right here, and we're going to shake it out. We're going to check that temperature on our wrists, and it is okay, not too hot. And we are going to check it on our client's collarbone. She says it's okay as well. So we're going to take our nice steam towel and we're going to place it on our client's face. We're going to leave the nose out, but we're going to cover everything else up. And we're going to give it a gentle press in. It's going to start to cool down in about 20 to 30 seconds. So we'll take it off when you start to feel it cooling down. So just keeping that in mind. For the client. And so we're just removing that exfoliant. And once you've removed the exfoliant, you want to take a second here to really dry your hands off, because you have to put gloves on, because the next step in the basic facial is extraction, and you always wear gloves when performing extractions if your client needs extractions. And she just needs a couple. She just has a little bit of congestion on her chin, and she was worried about that. She asked us about it. It's not bad, but wearing that mask can be a challenge because you are breathing in oxygen, but you're breathing out carbon dioxide. And you want to get that out, and it's kind of being filtered right there in your mask. So we are going to use the wooden stick Q-tip method, but let's talk about another option. So you could use little cotton rounds soaked in astringent. You could wrap them around your fingers, and as you perform the extractions, you could kind of work your way around the cotton rounds and then toss it. We're going to use these wooden stick Q-tips, and basically for each extraction you use a pair soaked in the astringent, and then you toss them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do these. She doesn't have a lot of extractions that need to be done, just a little bit on the chin area. And when performing extractions, you don't want to do that for more than 5 to 7 minutes because it can be uncomfortable, and your client's comfort is super important, and nobody wants to go through painful things no matter what. So obviously you want to really clean out the skin, and you want to do a great job, but you're not going to be there for more than 7 minutes at max. And we've got one more to deal with. And obviously when you perform extractions, if you have a magnifying lamp, you can bring that back in, cover her eyes up obviously, and you can see those details really well. So just, I don't have one, so we didn't go over that. And then of course those were thrown away. Now I'm going to take off disposable gloves. They need to be thrown away as well. And then we're going to tone. So we've exfoliated, extracted, and now time for a little toner. Once again, I'm going to keep my nozzle from touching my little squares, and then we do our toner. All right, so we are good to go. So now the best thing ever is that after the toner, we get to go into the massage portion of the facial. Now you wouldn't be doing that if they had severe acne, but she's fine, and so a lot of clients look forward to this. It's a nice relaxed time. The thing to note here is that once you start the massage, you don't want to stop until you're finished, so you don't want your hands to leave the client, because then it would interrupt the flow of the massage. So make sure that you get enough massage product on your hands when you initially start the massage, so that you can spread it out and you won't have to stop and start and go back to get more massage product. That is kind of a critical point, is that once you start your massage, you want your client to be able to really thoroughly relax. And the way to do that is not to have your hands leave your client. massage product. And then you're going to apply a facial mask. And you, of course, same thing, same principle applies always. We're going to be following manufacturer's directions. We are going to be avoiding the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. I'm going to be applying it with a brush. And then we will be leaving it on for a certain amount of time. We'll discuss that after we apply. And then you would leave your mask, depending on the type of the mask, depending on manufacturer's instructions, etc., on for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And we're going to pretend as if that 5 to 10 minutes has elapsed, so we can go ahead and remove the mask because the time has passed. then we are going to apply the skincare, but we have to tone first. So we're going to do our final toner after mask removal. Once again, spray bottle, the nozzle does not come into contact with our toner. And now we're going to apply our final skincare. It's dark out, so we're going to do eye cream, of course. So let's get our tiny bit of eye cream. We're going to make sure that we use our ring finger to apply it. It's a little bit delicate little fingers. We're going to go on the zygomatic arch and the brow bone, and we are doing light little tapping motions, blending it all in. We've already pulled aside a couple products that she had said when we were doing client consultation that she wanted: a serum, she wants a facial oil, and an eye cream was really important to her. So we actually ended up going with 2 eye creams because of her goals. One she's going to be using during the day, and one she's going to be using at night. So that was kind of exciting. And then now we're going to go over to the moisturizer, and I'm going to go ahead and put on what she would be using in the evening. So when she goes home, there's no SPF in this. This is her nighttime moisturizer so that she can just go to bed. And she doesn't have to worry about washing her face again or any of those other things, like a total pamper. It's midweek. She's just super excited to just go home, put the jammies on, veg out, etc. And then, of course, I'm going to give her some nice hydrating lip balm. So when we present her skin, every part of her face looks amazing. And she's so in love with it. She's thrilled. She looks gorgeous. And so at this point, what you would be doing is, once again, giving her that private time to get dressed. So you remove that little extra towel and then tell her that you'll meet her out in the client consultation area. And you'll give her a few minutes to change and get ready to meet you to finish up. So what you're going to do at that point is you're going to review everything with her. You're going to go over maintenance and aftercare. You're going to discuss products that she could be using at home because, as you know, she's at home more than she is with you. And she was very concerned about her at-home routine, supporting what we're doing in service. She's already an existing client. We've got a plan here. We're going to get her booked for the next appointment before she leaves, and we check her out. And the exciting thing is that she's getting really superior products to be used as well. So everything's going to be a win-win. And then we have another appointment coming, so we say goodbye to our client once she's checked out, and we're going to go back to our room to clean it up and disinfect it and get it ready to be set up for our next client. So the first thing that we're going to do when we get back in there is look at our tray. If we've got any single-use items that we need to discard, we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to find any dirty implements. We're going to put them in a closed container labeled to be disinfected, and we're going to strip that bed, put all the dirty linens, towels, etc. that we used in a closed container until time to do laundry. Then we're going to identify a cleaning agent, and we're going to read and follow manufacturer's directions on mixing and usage. We are going to wipe down our workstation and area with that cleaning solution to remove debris. And then we're going to identify a disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal, and EPA approved for use in a salon setting. You're going to need to grab another pair of disposable gloves because you're going to need to put those on for using this product, and you will follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. You're also going to disinfect electrical equipment and store it in a clean area that's separate from other implements. And you can throw your gloves away at this point, and it's time for you to do a final hand wash before you set up for your next client. So you go back to the sink, you wet your hands, you get that coin-sized amount of liquid hand soap, and you wash your hands together down to your wrist. Then you're going to wash the back of your hands down to your wrist. You're going to wash your fingers and the backs of your fingers. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You're going to wash between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your thumbs. You're going to wash your wrists. You're going to do all of that good, proper rinse or clean for a minute, minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. Now you can rinse under the water thoroughly. Once you've gotten that proper rinse, grab some disposable paper towels or a towel, turn the faucet off with the towels, dry your hands completely. The paper towels are going in the trash. If it's a towel, it's now dirty and it can go in that closed container with the rest of the dirty linen until time to do the laundry. And to finish your hand wash, you've got to get your 70% ethyl alcohol hand sanitizer, and you're going to do that final sanitizing of the hands. Do all of the same steps that you did with your cleanser, your liquid hand soap, and once everything is dry, you're good to go go ahead and set up for your next client. So that concludes your video for basic facial.